This is wild. Inflation is down to 4%, guys. You heard it, 4%. You know me, I've been waiting on this news, trying to figure out exactly what's going on, and something just didn't seem right to me. It just did not seem right. We just got down to 4% when we were just at 4.9% the last month, and it just didn't make sense. And my spider sense started going off, and I just said, I need to take a look at this. I need to see what's going on here. And so I did, guys, and it was amazing. And before we jump into that, guys, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. It always helps out the channel, guys. And also check in the description. I have a course for investing for beginners and a YouTube course. But let's jump into this, guys, because this is crazy. So I want you to take a look at this chart here. As you can see on this chart, we were going down, inflation is going down, and then we got to the 4%. But that's not the number I want you to take a look at. I want you to look at the core inflation. Now, if you look at core inflation is 5.3%. So my thought process was, why is it so far in between core inflation and CPI inflation? Because a 1.3% is mighty different. Wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you think to yourself, Orlando, I mean, that's significant, right? There has to be something going on in between there. Well, well, I'm glad that we're on the same page here, because when you look at the chart, it says at the top here on the legend here, it says all items in one section, and then it says less food and energy. Okay. So the difference between the two is one is all items, and then the other one is less food and energy, and which they call core inflation. And so I just said to myself, Orlando, let's just pull out the full report. And I'm not going to bore you guys with the full report. We're just going to take a look at this chart that I'm going to show you right here. So this chart, if you take a look at it, in the blue, we have items that have went down, and then we have in the teal portion, items that have went up and when it comes to inflation. Now, I want you to really take a look at this, guys, and really just use your own judgment to figure out why inflation is still high, why core inflation is still high. Motor vehicle repair, 19.7%. Yeah, it went down, but it's still high. Motor vehicle insurance, 17.1%. Well, I'm happy that, inflation is coming down, but it's still 17.1% high. Then we have food, vending, 15%, pet food is 13, frozen food 12, fat oils, 11.8, rent of primary residence 8.7%. Yes, these items have went down. Look, ice cream down to 8%. That Ben and Jerry's, man. But it's not the point. The point that I'm making is that even though these items are going down, these items are still high. And I haven't even got to the areas that increased. Fresh whole milk, that's went up. Used cars, that went up to 4.2%. Then major appliances, we know that, guys. You know how much it costs if you go to Lowe's and get a refrigerator, or you go get a washer and dryer? It's insane. That's a 10% markup from inflation. Televisions are up. Rental cars, 12% up. Gasoline, up. Health insurance, up. All of these things have went up, and up when it comes to inflation. Now, like I said, I'm super happy. I'm super happy that, CPI numbers are going down. But if you look at the disparity between core inflation and inflation when you take out food and energy, it's a mighty different story. We have a 1.3% difference in that, and it basically shows that inflation really hasn't done anything.
What?
It's went down a little bit, 0.1%. I mean, that's it, really. When you look at it, 0.2%, something around there. But really, it has not changed when you look at core inflation. Now, while the headlines are saying inflation down to 4%, making you believe
some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The reason why I believe the CPI numbers are at 4% is because the government, which they have shown, can control energy prices. They can control food prices. We all know the game of subsidizing. We know that the government is subsidizing farmers. Not saying that they shouldn't. Great. That's awesome. The point is that the government can control the price of foods, right? They can control the price of energy. And they have been doing that. We know that the government has been doing things like using our oil reserves to bring down prices of gas and all other forms of energy. And I'm not surprised that when you take out energy and you take out food, inflation looks like it hasn't done anything. It hasn't done anything. Let's take a look at what some of these guys are saying. Consumers saw gasoline prices decline 5.6% between April and May, according to the CPI report. And once again, that's not surprising to me. The headline number is a positive thing, one of the economists said. People spend a lot of money on energy and they spend a lot of money on food. These are positive developments. However, the improvement in May headline figures may disguise some pressures underneath the surface, the economist said. Very concerning or worrisome. Did you guys hear that? Let's read that again. The headline figures may disguise some of the pressure under the surface, and that this is very concerning or worrisome. That tells you exactly what I was just saying, guys. This is the reason why it's so important to watch videos like this, is so that you understand that even though the headline may say, we're at 4% CPI number, inflation numbers. Well, when you dive deep into the numbers, it doesn't look so positive and rosy. And of course, everybody wants inflation to be beaten down. But we still have to remember, the Fed is trying to figure out a way to get us to this soft landing that I think is impossible. I don't see it being possible. I see the Fed is just kicking the can down the road and putting us in a situation where people are going to lose jobs, where there's going to be a big recession that happens when prices of things go down, crash, correct, however you want to say it. But my point is things will happen as the Fed tries to, walk the line and be on the fence and try to save everybody, because that's what the Fed is trying to do. That puts us in the predicament for the Fed deciding what it's going to do. Is it going to raise interest rates? Is it going to pause? That's been the talk of the street. What is he going to do? And in my view, the Fed would be nuts to pause interest rate. And that's probably what he's going to do. That's probably but it would be crazy. We've been down this road. Where Canada paused and they came back. UK paused, came back. Guys, we've seen this happen before. The story is not different. This is the same story that's being repeated over and over and over again. Look, these guys can pause it, but they're only going to come back to the well and say,
look, we made a mistake. Yeah, we shouldn't have paused it.
Here's my big point when it comes to the Fed raising interest rates and continue to put pressure on the housing market, continue putting pressure on lending, continue putting pressure on inflation, is just that. The point of the Fed was to bring down demand. And demand, if we really look at it, has not slowed down. People are traveling like they've never traveled before. People are buying groceries and buying televisions and buying all types of stuff that they need and they don't need. So demand is there. And the point of the Fed is to bring down demand with rate increases. That's the tool that the Fed has. And remember, the Fed wanted to get down to 2%. What happened to that? If he pauses rate increases and he thinks he's going to get to 2%, it's not happening, guys. It's going to be a long, bumpy ride to get to 2%. And I know what a lot of you guys are saying. Well, the Fed really doesn't believe that he's going to get to 2%. He really doesn't believe that. He's just using that as political fodder. He's using that to keep his job. He's continuing to use that so he can continue to march forward and people can believe that he's doing an active job as the Fed. And then I would say, well, if that's the case, then 4% is just the new normal when it comes to inflation. That's the number that we want to be at, right? So we should just stop here. Not just a pause, but this is permanent. We're done. We're done. We have saved the economy. There's no need to do anything else, guys. Listen, I mean, did you get that house that you wanted that was affordable? I mean, is it still expensive? I mean, because I just looked at the numbers and they basically said that they're still expensive. Is food still expensive? Are appliances or used cars, are they still expensive? Oh, they are. So now that we're at our goal of 4%, so are we just gonna now just revert back and go ahead and make 3% loans again? So if we do that, you guys know that demand will shoot through the roof. If you have low interest rates that bring up high demand and low supply, you do know that it's gonna skyrocket. The only thing keeping prices and bringing prices down, especially in hotspots like Austin, San Francisco, Boise, all of these hotspots, Phoenix and stuff like that. You know what's keeping those prices down, guys? Interest rates. That's what's keeping those prices or bringing those prices down. We need more of that to bring the demand down. That is the name of the game. Bring the demand down, brings the prices down.
Nice.
If the Fed decides to stop right now and pause right now and bring rates down, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. He's going to put us in a predicament where prices will continue to increase on everything. And just like Canada, just like UK before him, he's going to come back to the well and say,
I made a mistake, guys. I need to increase rates again.
At the end of the day, items like we're reading here, shelter, motor vehicle insurance, recreation, household items, operation, new vehicles, those items still have annual increases that we're continuing to see go higher and higher and higher. And this is a major issue that I don't think anybody's addressing. I think the main focus for the government was to get down prices for food and energy and then to show face and show that, look, we're getting inflation down. We're beating inflation down back to where we need it to be. It seems to me like they're manipulating the numbers, and we've seen this happen over and over from governments. And man, it just, don't let it go over your head. And I just want you guys to remember, we're still in a dangerous point in time here. So things are going to continue to get interesting and spicy here. But as always, guys, you won't get all of your information from this one video. I need you to watch this next video here. And I promise you, you'll get information like the housing market, financial news, get into your first rental property, and the information you will get from it will be gold. I promise. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.